Welcome to Beyond the Box.
Our guests are insiders that are now out and on our side, dropping nuclear intel and breaking it down just for you.
And now it's time to introduce our hosts, Brenda Lankridge and Suzanne Hart. Join us and subscribe for weekly shows. Beyond the Box begins now. Let's jump in.
Hey guys, so I decided to do a special show tonight. I had a few things happen to me today. It's been kind of a strange day, so I wanted to talk about it. Julie, I'm glad you're in here because maybe you can help me kind of break some of this down. Hi Jason, Denise, everybody. So I had to go get a shower before, going anywhere, leaving the house, period. So I went in to go take a shower. And while I was in there, I left. I was with somebody who had a voice. And this voice carried me places that were strange. The first place we went to was Asgard. And I seen peace and harmony, and then I seen the war and the fighting. Left out of that, I seen the Noah building the ark, his wife and his family helping him collect the animals. Strange things, strange things. And I just kept saying, why are we here? And all I heard was, just watch. Okay. So I seen the flood. It wasn't only just rain. There was some kind of great wall that fell, and the water came in just like a tsunami. We jumped from there and went to Atlantis. Beautiful. Walls of stone and gold and crystal. Beautiful place. And then I watched it fall. And then we shot over to what I know none of it was in order, so it was kind of weird. To a place where I could have swore it was Babylon. And I seen a lot of wrong. And I seen a lot of just wrong, just bad things. And it fell. And so I heard this voice tell me, this is going to be the last fall. This is going to be the last time history repeats itself. The next rebuild is going to be amazing. So then I was taken to a place where I seen this man. I know this man. And this voice said to me, this is where you belong. I'm not sure how to take that. It's kind of weird. I'm still kind of trying to absorb that one. So when I returned, the water was ice cold. I have no idea how long I was in there. I left the bathroom, which is in Jack's room. I came in here and I'm sitting here trying to process all of this. Realize that I was in there a very long time. And Jack didn't even see me get out of the shower. And he was in his room. So I have been sitting here contemplating everything that this voice said. Hi, Steve. Everything that this voice said to me. Every little thing. Missing time, yes, Jason, but missing time in a way to where I was in different places. And they weren't very long visits. It was just a watch this and watch this. It's almost like to say history's been repeating itself and it needs to stop. Okay? The whole breakdown of everything that falls, they just rebuild it. And they do it in such a lengthy time that people don't remember, or new people come in and they have no clue. And then when he took me to this man that I know and let me see this man, and he said, "This is where you belong." And that made absolutely no sense to me. Now, this man and I are good friends, but it was like such a weird experience. And I'm not sure how to take all this. I think that it is one of those things when he said, this is the last fall. We've gone through the last fall that we're going to have. So, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Well, the voice was calming, and I think it was a good thing. It felt good. All of it felt good. All of it felt right. So it was kind of strange how I went and I seen Asgard, and then Noah and the flood, and then Atlantis, Babylon, all of this. And when you think about it, it was all destroyed. It was all torn down. It was destroyed, and our history ended up doing it again and again and again. So if I have another one of those things happen, you can contact me. I can help you on one-on-one. Okay. So also another thing, I am still trying to figure out how to make Julie and Denise to where they can look over and keep an eye on the chat and nix people that don't belong there. I'm going to have to ask somebody that has actually done that, because I have tried. God, I'm computer stupid. Steve, I'm computer stupid. And apparently I am taking a shower stupid because I was wide awake. I wasn't tired. I was getting up to go leave the house. I needed to take a shower. So yeah. Oh, okay, Julie. Okay. So uh-oh. Steve just blinked out. He held a finger up. But so in all of this, I think that what it's supposed to be is that,
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Awesome. Audio wasn't working earlier.
Oh, and everybody, Steve went shopping before the show, so we missed out on Steve's shopping night.
If the show was at 8, you would have saw me shopping. So maybe
Well,
next time.
I needed a little bit of time. I've been sitting here and I've been thinking about this,
Yeah,
and
I was gonna mention if you could go back from the beginning to tell everybody who's tuning in now, like myself, just to hear from the beginning what you went through today.
okay, yeah. So I got up today to take a shower, and we all know that I only have one leg, so I have a shower chair. And when I got in the shower, all of a sudden, I was visited by a voice and taken places by voice. Come with me. And the very first place that we went to was like Asgard. I know that's what it was. There was clouds, low clouds. It was nice. Everybody there was dressed like you would think. Um, and then I seen it was peaceful, it was beautiful. And then I seen the fighting and the wars. And then I was zipped out of that and taken to, and I know it was Noah. He was building the ark. His wife and his kids were helping him gather animals. And then we hung out there for a little bit. We watched everything. And then I seen the rain come. And then there was more than just rain that flooded. There was like a wall that opened up, and a big humongous rush of water came like a tsunami, just boom. And then I was taken to a place that I believe it was Atlanta. It was gorgeous. Stone, gold, crystal, beautiful place. And then Atlanta was no more. And I kept asking, why are we here? Why are we here? And all I heard was just watch. And then I ended up in a place, so I know it wasn't like just consecutive places I was bouncing. I went to a place which I do believe was Babylon. And there was a lot of bad things, partying, just bad stuff going on there. And I watched a lot of chaos, and it fell. And then I was told by this voice that it can't happen again. This is the last fall we're going to have. This is it, the last fall. It cannot happen again. History can't repeat itself. And then I was taken to see a man, which I know this man. And the voice said, "This is where you're supposed to be." And I was like, okay. So it was very strange. And then when I woke up, I left the bathroom. I came in here and I was sitting here just trying to absorb all this. And then Jack gets up and walks out here and said, "Oh, he didn't even see me come out of the bathroom." When I woke up in the bathroom, the water was stone cold. Now, I can take a 2-hour shower and my water still stay hot. The water was stone cold. And he didn't even see me, and the bathroom is in his room. And he didn't even see me come out of there. Apparently I floated right by him or something. But I've been sitting here trying just to make sense of all this. But I think that a lot of it is that, first of all, I'm going to tell you that it was God. It was Yahweh. That's exactly who it was, and I know it was. I felt safe and secure. I did. But I think that that's what it's about. I think that it's about, I've been doing a lot of praying lately, you know, help heal this land. You know, this world needs something, anything, you know, whether it's us, whether it's Jesus, I don't know. I don't know what it needs. And this has been shaking me up since I woke up and got into the show. Well, when I first woke up, I talked to Susie for a little bit, but this all happened after that. And so I've just been trying to make sense of it. I've been trying to figure it out. And your head's not fully hey, my head hasn't been fully present for a few hours right now. I'm not exactly sure where the rest of it went, but yeah. So it's been kind of weird. I've been kind of shaky and not sure how to take this. But I think it's a good thing. I think it's to say to everybody to hang on to your butts, because things are going to get better, and it will be the last time that we won't have to put up with any more history repeating itself, which is probably a good thing, because there's a way to go and advance our technology and everything else without destroying everything, you know? How long was I in the shower? 3, count them, hours. Yes.
So I have something to ask you.
Okay.
Your housemate wasn't aware that you were in the bathroom for that long? Or they just didn't see you there?
He had no, well, he doesn't usually bother me when I'm in the shower, because I'm usually with the hot water on me trying to, relax my knuckle. But he will see me come out, because I get off of the walker and sit in my chair and pull the chair backwards in his room and come out the door. He had no idea that I even left the bathroom.
And that's something that usually he'd see, it'd be very obvious for him to see or hear?
Oh, yeah. Yes, definitely.
So that I think is very important to mention.
Yeah, it's like he had a veil put over him that just blocked him from even, paying attention to anything that I was doing, which was odd, because he does pay attention. I could fall getting out of the shower,
Yeah.
And whatnot. So he doesn't let me take a shower. He tells me not to take showers if he's not in this house, just for that reason. So it was the strangest thing. And I was going to call Susie, and I thought, nope, because I didn't want to sit and go over this too many times with just one person here, one person there. And I, like I said, I have been sitting kind of shaky and not understanding. But it's almost like I was being led on this path to maybe understand that I don't have to worry about my grandson. I have been praying that things get better, so that poor child does not grow up in crap. Okay? Because he's a smart kid already. I don't know very many 2-year-olds, not even 2 yet, that know sign language. So, he picks up quick. But so I had thought, if I come on here and I talk about it, maybe y'all can help me figure out what in the Sam Cracker crap happened.
All
I've
right. I know you said it twice, but will you tell the story a third time again?
okay, y'all don't run off. It's okay. How'd you know I said it twice? All right, so I went in today to take a shower.
I want to know more about the man's voice, too. A little more
Oh,
detail, if you can.
it was very deep, very calming, and very secure. Um, so I went in to go take a shower, and all of a sudden, I left with this man I never seen, but I left. First place I went
Were
to,
you walking beside him, or was he behind you when you talked to you, or could you
he
see
was
him, or
beside me, but I didn't see him. I
couldn't
didn't
see him?
see his, yeah, I
Right.
couldn't see him, but I know he was beside me. I could
Gotcha.
hear him beside me. I could feel him beside me, but I couldn't see him. And um, the first place we went to, and I know it was Asgard, and I seen the beauty of it,
Of course
and
it was Asgard, because that's where it all starts,
it was beautiful. And then I also
right?
seen the wars, the fighting, the
Right?
death, okay, all of that. Then we zipped out of that. We ended up where we were looking, and I was watching Noah. He was building the boat. His wife, his kids were helping him collect animals. And then it started to rain once the boat was finished. And like I said, it was more than just rain. There was almost like a big wall that opened up and just dumped tons of water, like a tsunami would just waved in like out of
And
nowhere.
that's sort of like what's in the news right now with all the water, the flooding and people dying, and yeah,
And then we went to what I know to be, and I do believe it was, Atlantis.
right?
And it was beautiful, stone, gold, crystal, just beautiful. And then it wasn't there anymore.
It
And
was
then we
it
kind of,
was it was it was story goes, it was taken out during the flood,
yeah, it was just gone.
or the you could say the deluge, the flood, the deluge, yeah.
And then we ended up in a place that I want to just assume that it was Babylon, because everybody was partying and they were worshiping things that they probably shouldn't have. There was a lot of just dirty stuff going on there. And then I watched it chaos, and it
Could that
like
could have that could have
fell.
been maybe Egypt a
I
little
don't, I
bit,
don't
or
know. I just know that
maybe
it was,
Greece and Egypt, yeah.
well, there was not really a whole lot of greenery.
Okay.
Okay, it was like desert land.
Hmm.
And then and then the voice tells me, because I kept asking why are we here, and all it would say was just watch. And then the voice tells me this can't happen again. This is the last fall.
What do you? Okay, wait. Stop right there. When you is that a present word? This is the last fall. Like right now, we're in the last fall, or that was the last fall. What they
No,
were shown, what you
this
were being
is
shown.
this is the last fall.
So we are
Specifically
going
is.
to fall. Yes,
There's going to
Well,
be, it
there's
needs to
going to
still
be a
carry out
fall.
now.
yes, we're gonna have to. I
We're
mean,
in the fall.
yes,
It's what you heard.
yes,
This is the last fall. Okay.
yes. So I mean, and it's gonna have to fall. Think about it.
How many
All
falls
the
were you shown?
1, 2, 3, 4, 4.
So this would be 5.
Yes.
Okay.
So now we didn't go anywhere near Tartaria, which I know that was also another place that was built that fell, but it wasn't that far into history. So I don't know if that feeds into any of it or not. I have no idea. But And the voice said that this cannot, will not, it won't happen again.
Okay.
So when you think about it, with all of the stuff that has gone on for decades in this country, and it's all been bad, it's all been wrong, some of it's going to have to be tore down
You
to
know
be
what I've
able to
been
start over.
what I've been saying, Brenda, the whole time is that there was an ice age that happened prior to Asgard. There was something that occurred that froze everything, and then everything thawed out, and then that's the beginning of Asgard. And that was the beginning of that first fall where where the gods were fighting the giants, and and then that right there was what they called the beginning of Ragnarok. We are at the end of Ragnarok, is what I've been saying. This Armageddon is the end of Ragnarok. Is the battle from that beginning of Asgard through all this time. Because if you read in the Bible about Noah, there were, after the flood, there were still giants in the land, and it talks about that in the Bible, that they didn't get the giants. There were still giants, so they were still battling giants, and all the way up to David slaying a giant. But the children of Israel going against, they look like grasshoppers compared to the giants that were in the land at the time. And so that, like I said, this battle has started when you were shown where it started, and now here we are now.
Yeah. And you know, the funny thing of it is, and then at the end of all of this, now,
I just want to say I love you, Brenda.
I love me too. But at the end of all this, I was
You too, Steve.
I was shown
Love you too.
a man, and it's a man that I know, and I'm friends with this man, and I was told, this is where you belong. This is
Okay,
where
wait.
you.
Okay, so what does that mean to you? I'm
have
confused.
no clue. You're confused. How do
Okay.
you think I feel?
Does
I
that
said,
mean in this timeline, this is where you belong in this timeline? Is that what that means?
I don't know. I was shown this person, and like I said, this person and I are friends. We're pretty good friends. Is
Okay.
it that I need to be here because I need to be this person's friend? Is it I need to be here because this is the person that is my twin flame?
Maybe what you have to offer spiritually is what this person needs and this timeline.
I really like Susie's input on all of this, by the way.
So that's the person that you think that I need in this timeline.
This person probably needs you in this timeline to fill in the blanks, yes, of their life. Yes.
Could be. Strength and strength and wisdom. Strength and wisdom, and the how do you say, the balance. This person can be my balance, and I can be this person's balance.
Okay.
You know? So I haven't really thought
Because I
about
don't know who the person is we're talking about at all. So
yeah. I'm not gonna say anything right now about this person.
Do I know the person? Do I know the person?
Yes, you know the
Okay.
person. We all know the person.
Okay.
So yes.
Okay.
And it is strange, and
it might be the balance. It might be what this person knows, or the knowledge will assist you, and you will assist this person and bring balance to each other's lives. Yes.
Hello, Robin. We love you, girl. Yeah.
So and when a person says to you, when the voice says to you, this is where you belong, that's confirmation that this person is good in your life. This is okay. That's confirmation. Not saying you need to get away from this person. No, that's confirmation saying that this person plays an important role in your life, whoever this person is. Yes.
Robin says lock and key. Could be, Robin. Could be. You never
Around
know.
what time did this happen today?
When did I finish talking to you today, Susie? What time was it?
Yeah, after this afternoon. I mean, after I went and
Wait, I'll tell
voted
you
for
because it was
Trump.
because it was
Being Joel.
it's right after I got off the phone with her, so it was about 2 o'clock this afternoon. Yeah, it was about 2 o'clock this afternoon. Because after I got off the phone with Susie, I sat here for a few minutes, and then I went and took a shower.
Well, you were given an amazing
And I was stone awake.
knowledge.
And
You were given
you know what?
amazing knowledge. You were given some amazing puzzle pieces of knowledge of history. Yeah.
It was, and I wasn't afraid at all. At all. This person made me feel.
You think you were with
so
Jesus? You think you were with Jesus?
Could have been
Yeah,
Okay.
Jesus.
you mentioned that.
Could have been God Himself. I don't know, but
Yeah.
but it was a very, very
You were peaceful
warm,
and happy and
very warm.
content
And when
with this
we
person.
zoomed from place to place, it was almost like a wormhole type thing, and it was like in it, out,
Yeah.
and it was fast, but I wasn't afraid. I was not afraid. I was confused because I didn't know why I was seeing this stuff. I mean, if I'm going
That's
to
what
see
happened to me.
anything,
Brenda, I spent 2.5 years every night being taken out of my body by Jesus and taken and shown things and stuff like that. So it just, what you're talking about just seems very familiar. Like that's how it was with me. He would just talk to me and I'd say, "Why are you showing me this?" Or "Why am I?" And he wouldn't say anything. He'd just like want me to watch and look and learn. And I was like, I don't understand. And then a couple of times I'd say, "Why this?" And then he would explain it to me. And then, so
all I got was just watch.
yeah,
Like he knew I would understand,
yeah,
and I did. I understood that it's, a tear down, a tear down, a tear down, a tear down. Everything that has happened in our past, and obviously we know this, we talk about this, but I never thought that I would see it. And boy, I'll tell you what, if I could live in Asgard, I'd go. That place was gorgeous,
yes.
gorgeous.
I told you that's my
Beautiful.
ancestral is Odin and from Asgard, and and then I do have memories of Atlantis, and but not very,
That was pretty
I
too,
wasn't
but
there very long, in that time. So
yeah.
I kind of relate to all of that, I can see that. And like I said, I spent 2.5 years every night traveling with Jesus, seeing everything, being shown everything, kind of like Enoch. And you kind of had an Enoch experience, basically. You were taken to time
Kinda.
periods and shown things, and then told what happened and where we're at now, and we're in the last fall. And that's what
Yeah.
I've been saying. This is like the time where I think that it's the separation between the wheat and the tares, and this is where the final story, this is the final chapter.
And then I was sitting here thinking, remember what Dennis said about revelations being the beginning, going backwards? Like everything that's been happening is at the end of that book, and now the beginning of the Bibles are going to be our new beginnings. So I was sitting here thinking about that, and I was trying to piece that in there somewhere, and I was like, I mean, I feel honored that I got to do this.
Yeah.
I was not afraid at all. I wish I could have grabbed everybody and held your hands and we all could have went together. But I was kind of in the shower, and that wasn't a good place to do that.
Hey, we're with you in spirit right now. Okay. We're
It was
there with you in spirit. Yeah.
it was a trip. Now let's
I
Oh,
did.
see.
Denise said, "How will we fall?" Well, you just Denise, look around. How is things? What is the Earth doing right now? Weird things. Weird things are happening. That's how it's falling. You know, like it's a combination. Like Atlantis and all that went under with the flood. Asgard was a fire.
I don't think that
Um,
it's I don't think that he
I think
means.
we're gonna have water and fire. I think that's kind of
Yeah,
where
I
we're
don't
gonna.
think it's going to
Yeah.
be like the devastation that we have heard about or read about in our past. I think honestly, to tell you the truth, Denise, that Susie is right. It is going to be that separation between good and bad. And we have sat here and talked about this, and Susie, her thoughts on Revelation, on the oh crap, Susie, I'm drawing a blank. That
Thoughts
it's
on
going that it's going to be
Revelations or the end
oh,
times? What do you? Yeah.
that the bad people are the ones
Oh yeah.
that are going to be taken off of this planet
Yeah.
instead of us. That it's not going to be one of those things where the rapture is going to come and take us all to heaven. This is going to end up being our heaven, and the bad's going to leave. They're going
It's
to be
like
dropped where they need to
it's
be.
it's like universal justice is coming um to clean up the mess, to sort it all out and to fix everything. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Kind of like a filtering system.
Yeah, if
We're
you go
going to
back to the
filter out the
Asgardian
crop.
Ragnarok story, Odin, and he had given his eye for wisdom, and they knew that in the end it would be beneficial for everybody. Like it would be a good ending, for that the good would triumph over the evil. So that's why the gods tried to take out the giants and the monsters, and the leviathans and the uh the monster wolf creatures, and these cryptid things that were killing people and things like that, right? So, but they were unsuccessful at that time, and that's why we're here now, and all these other events have taken place, like the flood, and then that didn't take them out, and then so here we are now at the end of this story, should we say, where we
Yeah.
are going to be okay. But like you said, this is the fifth. I guess there was that show called The Fifth Wave. This is like the fifth wave,
Fifth
right?
wave, the fifth element, yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
You might be onto something with that, Miranda.
Huh?
Yeah.
The number 5 being prominent with all this. Wow.
It's just like the in the Satanist world, you have the 13th ghost. A lot of the movies were 13, 13, 13, or numbers that added up to 13. Well, there's always also some with 5. So, yeah,
The
I
fifth
mean,
element is like the whole story is about love.
yeah,
Like the being that Mila Jovovich plays, that character with the red hair. Like she's ancient. She's older than everybody in the film. But it's because she was like brought back for a final ending to a time, which is it's in the future in that movie. Like
yeah,
I think 2300. But yeah.
yeah. So, I mean, it was all so weird. I literally, Susie, I had to sit here for hours and just collect myself. Because also, though, when I came back, I had to sit real still. And I mean, I sit and I ate dinner. Tucker was just bothering me so bad, and I don't know why. And just growling and snarling and barking at me and wanting my attention. And I just couldn't even deal with them because I just had to sit still.
Yeah, so what happened with Tucker and Putin while you were in the shower? Where were they at? Just
Putin
chilling on the
usually
bed?
lays on the floor and goes to sleep in the bathroom
So
when
all
it's
this probably happened without them even
yeah,
realizing you were gone for that long? Wow.
yeah.
Almost like they might have been like sedated by whatever was guiding you along on this. Uh,
I'm telling
do
you,
you want to call it astral projection? What do you think happened with this? It was out of body.
I know it was out of
You
body,
physically moved?
huh?
Like, do you think you physically moved? Like, if your housemate would
Nope.
have
I
peeked in the
was sitting.
bathroom, you would have been gone?
No, no. It
I think
was
you're I
my
think
soul.
you're being your
My
soul was,
soul was gone.
yeah.
Okay.
Your
I
body
do
was
know
still
that
here. Your
when
soul
I
was
came
with
back,
him.
I was seated.
With
And
whoever took you. So let's just say if it was Jesus, your soul traveled out of your body with him, you know.
yeah, yes.
But
I was very
but you were
lightweight.
gone a long time, so
Apparently I
that's a
was.
miracle. Yeah,
Apparently I was.
right?
I was out there. So,
Yeah.
I mean, just the thought of what happened was kind of
What did
scary.
Asgard look
But
like? What did Asgard look like?
oh my God, sunny and bright, and just the air was clean. You could hear beautiful birds and trees and just big buildings, and it was gorgeous. Clouds. It was like I was
Like what kind of
standing
buildings?
on
What kind of
clouds.
buildings?
Old ancient stuff that Steve would have been proud. Beautiful, big columns, just beautiful, and it all was
How much of
that.
it did you get to see? I mean, when you were taken there,
It
how much of
it
the
got
city?
dark.
Yeah,
It's like darkness moved in, and then there was fire. There was
the fire. Yeah.
yet there was fire. There was fighting. There was a lot of bloodshed, and a
Yes.
lot of bodies, and then we were sucked out. So
Wow.
yeah, it was. But I wasn't afraid.
It was like it was like almost like out of body remote viewing kind of thing too, like you were there witnessing, watching it as it was in real time happening.
And I don't really do that when I'm awake, uh, you know, which is weird. I don't. Well, I did one time when I was on the phone with you. I kind of wandered off somewhere and
Yeah,
pulled myself back in.
you
But
started talking. Yeah,
yeah,
just
talking to you like we were somewhere else.
right.
But this was different. It was so different.
Did you see anybody in Asgard? Did you see people?
I seen
Or
people, beautiful
okay,
people. They were beautiful people. I've never seen so many beautiful people in one place in my life. All the women were long hair, beautiful. The men were muscular and
the
stout and
Vikings.
just
Yeah, all
yeah,
the
they were. It was beautiful people.
right.
Yeah,
Wow.
it
Yeah,
was.
you're describing
a-
Asgard for sure.
It was amazing. I mean,
Wow.
absolutely heartwarming, amazing.
Did you see animals or anything there when you were
Yes,
there?
birds.
Yeah.
Um, oh God, what are there? There was horses. There was
Right.
birds. There was a few dogs running around.
Right.
But but yeah, so we sat there. We were there. I was standing on a cloud, on a big puffy
Really?
white cloud. Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, it was nice. And then when the darkness moved in,
it
it's
was
like
like, what do you mean darkness? Like it started getting dark there?
yeah, it just kind of got real dark, like real fast.
Wow.
Yeah. So
And then
I guess
fire came and fighting. You saw people
I see
fighting.
fire and people fighting, and
What were they fighting?
they were they were fighting blue people. They were fighting.
The frost giants.
Yes,
Or
they were
aliens?
fighting.
Yes. You saw the
Bald,
blue people?
bald. I saw skinny, bald, tall people that they were fighting. Also,
Skinny
almost
what?
like they almost
Skinny,
reminded me of Smeagol. Do you know who Smeagol is?
like ant people or something?
I, eh, not really ants. They were just strange creature people, and they
Wow.
were bald and tall and real thin, and they were using swords and arrows and all that. Now I didn't get to see Thor,
That's
but
weird. I
you
mean,
know,
okay, so you saw a tall, skinny, like creature. Are they humanoid or were they kind
they
of
weren't they
animalistic?
weren't human. They looked like they might what I would picture somebody staying underground and living underground all of their lives and then coming up
Oh,
and not having any sunlight to their skin, not having, you know what I mean?
yeah.
So jagged teeth, just disgusting looking little creature things that eyeballs were popping out of their heads. So I said it kind of reminds me of Smeagol.
Oh my God.
Like
Right?
Inner Earth versus
So,
Outer Earth.
Yeah. And yeah, like something that came from inner earth came out of earth.
well, that's kind of like some kind of like oh, that's creepy. So those things were there, and then you saw the blue, you saw the frost giant, the blue,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
And what were they? Were
And
they killing all the people, or they were? Was
the
it?
people were killing them, they were killing the people, it was kind of like a
Wow.
free for all toss up. And then we left. Yeah.
Okay, that's crazy.
So it was it
Like
was
like an alien war going on or something in a way. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Yeah.
a war in the sky.
And how were they fighting on the ground? Were they fighting on horses? Were they fighting what?
They weren't really on it didn't look like it was on ground. Everything looked pillowed and clouded and now there were like sidewalks and stuff, but there was no dirt anywhere. It, it was like I don't know. And the animals horseback, they weren't on horseback when they were doing this. It was hand to hand, foot to foot combat type thing.
Oh,
They
okay.
didn't have any animals in it. Not that
Wow.
part. And they were in front of a really big building with big white pillars, and the building was on fire. I don't know how that happened. I missed something somewhere. And then everybody was coming out of there, and they were
Missed
coming
something.
up, and yeah, it was just a big old war.
And now, okay, then the next scene you end up with Noah. Seeing
Hmm.
Noah. What do you
Yep.
see there exactly?
We were in some mountains, and it was green. There was trees, birds, all that. And he
Okay.
was building. He was sawing wood. He was building. And there was, I guess it was his wife and kids. There was three other people there that was helping him. They were bringing um, animals, wolves, and different animals onto the ship with a big, kind of like what I need, a ramp, and was bringing them all on there. And then it started to
How big
rain.
was the ship? How big was a ship?
Huge,
Or like
huge,
like a
six
cruise ship?
football field long, big,
Huh?
just huge. You
Yeah.
could probably put six football fields in there and been just fine.
What?
It was
Wow.
huge, huge, humongous.
Like
I have
like
to
a
ask
little
this
city.
question.
Ask me.
Do you believe this was some sort of um, like virtual reality that you were being shown, that it wasn't actually real time happening? Or was it something that you were picked up from now and put over to view something that was occurring in real time, and then you got brought to the next thing that was
Yes,
occurring in real time?
that's absolutely it.
So
I
it's
was
not like
picked
it
up
was a
and I was
deception.
taken. I was taken here, and then I was taken here, and then I was taken there.
Okay.
Whatever I was being shown, it was real time there.
It's real time. Okay.
Yes,
Got it.
it was real time there.
I was gonna say probably real time. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're seeing it as it happened. Yeah.
Yeah, it was something else, let me tell you.
Now this ship that you saw, it was
The boat,
that big, huh?
it
Wow.
was huge. I don't think I've ever seen anything that big. And I used to live next to a naval base.
Wow.
What features popped out to you on the ship?
The woodwork done on the outside was
Said it was made
just,
of gopher wood. Yeah.
it
The
was
ark was.
beautiful.
Yeah.
It was meticulous.
Mm.
You know, I didn't really see much else to it other than its size and the outside of the boat. And the work was
So it sounded like it had plenty of room
immaculate.
for everything they want to put on that thing. Then apparently. So how much of that did you get to see where you were there? Like just them building it, or them going on it, or what?
It was like a fast forward thing because when we first got there, I seen like part of it wasn't done, and then boom, it was done, and
Okay.
then it started raining, and then all of a sudden it was like a big, huge wall of water. It came in, it scooped the boat up,
Ooh.
and then poof, we left.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
But
So
the fact that you saw this gigantic ship, this like I've never heard anybody say that before, that it was
it
that
was
big.
it was
But
huge.
yeah,
It was huge.
that's pretty cool.
And like I said, I've been around naval bases. I've seen the biggest naval ships they have, and this thing was bigger than those.
Right?
So yeah, it was huge and very
So
tall.
so after this Noah's Ark site, you went next where?
The Atlanta,
Okay. And now
and I
that was
got
a
to
beautiful
see
city, right?
Atlanta. It was beautiful. There was greenery. It was gorgeous, and then poof, it was gone, and so were we. I didn't get to see
Oh,
much of it,
yeah, because that
but
happened. I think Atlantis, according to from what my research is, Atlantis when the flood happened, Atlantis went poof. Yeah, it went underwater, and now it's under the
well,
ocean.
that
Yeah,
then that makes sense why
You're
that happened.
saying
Like
Atlantis or Atlanta? Because I heard both.
Atlantis,
Atlantis
Okay.
is what I meant to say.
Because I was going to
Atlantis.
go on and say, yeah, Atlanta
Because
burned
Atlanta,
down, turned
Georgia
into a
needs
mud.
to go somewhere too, but
Okay.
we could only.
I'm like,
But
Yeah,
why is
Atlantis.
Georgia so important?
Atlantis.
Okay.
Now,
Okay.
and you just saw it go underwater because it went. According to my research, Atlantis went underwater whenever the flood took over. It flooded, and there was people scrambling across the planet to survive after the flood, after the deluge or the flood, you want to call it. Yeah, the Great Flood.
Yeah.
So, and
Then
then
I
you were
ended up
showed that
in that, and then I ended up in that desert land.
you saw Babylon, or you saw
I
a
think
city.
that that's what it was because it was a city built in sin. I mean, it
Okay,
was bad,
yeah,
and there was just things going on there that I think
I
I've
think
only
that
seen at
was
strip
if you
joints.
Nimrod was I believe the one that built the Tower of Babel, which is the Babel. That Nimrod was a descendant from I guess Set. As Set, was Michael Aquino, Church of Set. So you got to all tie that all in together with Osiris and Set and all that. Egyptian and the Egyptian gods that were pretty bad.
Yeah,
Yeah. So you
yeah.
saw all that because if you think about like I haven't really looked too much into the Egyptian stuff, but if you look around, the whole story about Osiris being cut up into 13 parts and the 13 families, and then you got his whatever majigger sticking up in the air, and you got it in Washington, you got that thing, and they all worship the the part
Yahweh's.
of yeah, and that's all based on think the sex and then if you go into Greece, all the naked pit statues and the worship of the men, and the body, and so I think it's all tied in with the Greece and Greek, and so the church and the Vatican and all that, the Greece and the Egyptian thing is all kind of one big messy ball. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It's just
And what you
so.
saw there was just debauchery, basically.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And then all of a sudden that turned into a lot of screaming and chaos.
Really?
And
What do you
yes.
mean screaming and chaos?
Like people were running around screaming, yelling like out of fear. And just the whole thing kind of just like crumbled, just crumbled. And then whoop, we were out.
Well, according to like, and okay, so according to the story of Nimrod and Babylon, or Tower of Babel, fire came out of the sky and burned them up, and it
Yes, yes.
melted. It melted them, and that's so. There was like they said that they said this is a weird story. Okay, this is like some kind of kindergarten story. They shot an arrow up into the sky, and they thought they killed God, and fire came out of the sky and burned them all and melted them. So did they damage the firmament? And it's like the Bible says that God put a molten like glass dome over the earth, and then they fired and shot it, and it melted, and maybe it melted them, and like it kind of reminds me of that SpongeBob SquarePants where Sandy Patty lives under a dome and under the ocean, and I think they do that on purpose to kind of like mess with your head.
I mean, look,
SpongeBob SquarePants. Come on,
how bad do you
Sandy
have to
Patty.
leave Texas and go live under a dome under the sea? Okay,
Yeah,
come on.
yeah, because that's the story of the Bible: the firmament, the water above, and then you have a firmament, and then the water's below, and then you have the earth, and so come on, it's the same story. But so this thing, this molten like glass, according to Proverbs, it melts all over them and melts them down. So maybe that's what were they running from something like that, maybe, or I don't know what you saw in Babylon. It just fell apart, you said, but
Yeah, it
what?
just like crumbled,
Okay,
crumbled.
interesting. So that was okay. So he was showing you major catastrophes that have occurred in the order that they occurred.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought we were off, but okay.
That's because
Who am
man
I?
has messed up the timeline. God knows what the right one is, right? He showed you.
Yeah, yeah. And then, like I said, and then after that, he took me to this man and said, "This is where you're supposed to be." And I was like,
So you're in the right timeline. You're right where you're
apparently,
supposed to be. Yeah.
apparently I am right where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah. This is the right timeline.
Yeah. And apparently, I don't even know what to think of the end of that.
What an honor
Right.
to have that be shown to you, you know.
Yeah. And it took me quite a while of sitting here just trying to, it almost felt like my soul had to attach itself back to every part of my body.
I've been there before. I came out of my body one time. I couldn't get back in. I was fighting. I was trying to move my body, and I'm like,
Run!
my body's on the couch, and I'm like, I'm trying to connect. And when I finally did, I like threw myself off on the floor off the couch, and I'm like, oh my God.
I mean, I came back in fine, but I felt really weird for
Detached.
quite a few
Yeah.
hours. Yeah, I did. I felt detached, but it's almost like it took a few hours. I mean, I was just sitting here like,
In Ecclesiastics, it says if ever the silver cord be loosed. So it talks about your soul is connected to your body by a silver cord, like an umbilical cord. Okay, that's why you'll hear somebody sometimes they'll say, don't let that cord be cut. That cord between it's that umbilical cord to your body. And you were connected to it still, but getting back into your body took a little bit of work. Yeah.
I agree with Denise. I want to know who this guy is.
oh, I
It was a very good
I'm
guy, a
I'm
very smart
afraid.
guy.
Look. It is a very good guy. And I'm afraid to say anything because
Oh,
I
you're talking about the
haven't.
guy. The
Yeah,
guy.
because I haven't figured out yet how to take that.
Well, you can just
'Cause
keep that to yourself for
look,
now, you know. You can keep
first
that
of
to
all,
yourself.
I don't feel. Look at me. Look at me. Now, I love me, okay, and I love who I am, but I don't consider myself a catch. So I don't think that that is the meaning.
Exactly. It doesn't mean he
However,
didn't if that were the meaning, he would have said that was what he said. But I think what he means,
yeah.
what
So
I think is, this is your soul family. This is where you belong. These are the people that you
Yeah,
belong with.
yeah,
there you go.
but so I think though also in the same aspect, I'm afraid to say anything yet until I can get that put together because I don't want that person to be afraid, you know, freak out or anything because some men are just like that.
Yeah, you don't
no,
want to
no pun,
misinterpret
no
that
pun
what that
intended,
means. Yeah,
Steve.
that meaning of that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't want any misunderstandings in it.
Yeah.
Now that person is my friend and a good friend, and it kind of shocks me. You know, what are you looking at? I ain't cheating on you, dog. Shut up. Just go back to sleep.
Denise says, and you are a catch. See, you gotta, yeah. Oh,
But I mean, it's just I get leery about that stuff because I cherish the friends that I have, and I'm one of those people when I care about people, I care wholeheartedly
Mhm.
and hard. Okay. Of course, Steve, you know how that works.
Yeah.
Capricorns. Okay. So it upsets me if I say something and either it's taken wrong or it's taken too lightly and it pushes that person back. So I don't want that to happen. So I'm going to ponder on this for a little while
now,
because
Brandon,
I've
you know how
lost
you
too
say,
many good friends like that.
you know how you always say all the time, it's 2024. I wish 24, because you're ready for something to just be fixed in this world of ours,
Oh God,
and
yes.
it was like
Oh
God
yeah,
was saying to you, it's going to get fixed. We're on the fifth, and then it's going to get fixed. He was giving
yes,
you that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Holy
I'm
crap!
so glad, Brenda. I'm so glad that you came on here tonight to share this the day that it happened because it's the freshest in your mind, and you also have it now recorded on your show on this channel, so you
Right.
can go back and reference it if you need to. But I think it's great that you're able to just talk about this readily on the day of.
Yeah,
And like I said, while it's still fresh in your mind, because I know the details can fall apart later on, but like the
not
key elements that you needed to remember, you're sharing with us here tonight.
yeah, not usually. I mean, usually when I have dreams like this, I will remember every freaking detail for a while. But my biggest thing was, well, I guess maybe I had to have something to do while the election was going too, so I didn't get angry. But you know, by the way, Steve, get out of that state.
Get out of that state.
Illinois is lost. It's too
They
lost.
are lost.
Even the
Hey,
local
we're in
stuff
the fifth wave.
skewed the other way.
It's gonna get bad before it gets better. I bet. Apparently.
230 to 209 electoral votes.
I would consider this time in my life like cleanup time before heading out. So that's what I'm doing now is just trying to wrap up things in Illinois that I need to because I know we're talking about like having
we're gonna
business.
we're gonna be a whole business and happy-go-lucky family with Susie. We're all just gonna. Did I tell you
Pull
about?
it together. Yeah.
I
Yep.
didn't tell. Yeah, I didn't tell Steve, I don't think, about the dream I had out at the ranch and us turning it into a nonprofit, petting and learning how to ride horses and stuff like that for handicapped and disabled children.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Right?
I had this dream, and there was a girl there that had, what was it again, Susie?
Down syndrome.
Yes, she had Down syndrome, and she was following Susie everywhere. And every time Susie says, "You got to do this," she would be this, and she would sit and she would do, and she just loved Susie. And she followed her everywhere and did everything that Susie did. And it was the cutest thing ever.
Oh,
Ever.
I could see that.
And I did. I had a dream. We were all out there, and Susie, we built a greenhouse, so we were growing vegetables and fruits and stuff like that. And we built a big chicken coop that was enclosed so that the dogs wouldn't get a hold of the chickens.
Yeah,
And
I had one of those in where I lived before. Nice.
Yeah.
It was like Fort Knox for the chickens, and it had a big
Yeah.
pond in it, and they loved it. Yeah,
And
it was really cool.
we took some of the little chicks and we took them to the kids, and the kids got to hold them and pet them. And this, like I said, I will never forget this little girl. She loved Susie. And I think every time Susie took a step, this little girl was right in her footsteps the whole time. But it was an
Aw.
awesome dream. And we were all there and we were doing that, and it was just an awesome place. And it was just beautiful. And people would come in. They paid a monthly fee to help, because we would do lunch for the kids and different stuff like that. So they did that to help pay for like their lunches and stuff like that. And it was so nice. It was really neat. So yeah, that was a cool dream.
That's cool. Very cool. Yeah.
It
I
was.
keep having my same dream. Maybe Julia can tell me something about that. I have a dream that I'm constantly in the same environment. I'm doing different things, but like same apartment, same like arcade. There's a bowling alley too. There's a diner. The streets I've walked many times in the astral realm. I just don't understand why I'm like continuously being put there. Different things are happening, but the main theme is that it's the same location, and that hasn't been happening until like the past several years. Before that,
How do you feel when you're in that location?
content. Like I'm just doing my stuff. Like it's not anything like I'm fearful or like over the edge ecstatic. I'm more just like calm and collected and just taking care of tasks, just like menial tasks. Like I said, like I'm living in that other realm, like in a permanent location. It's just really bizarre. But
I'll just share something with you, a little weird. I don't know if it has anything to do with yours at all, but for years I kept having this recurring dream that I would keep going back to Ohio, and I'd be in this classroom and back in school all the time, and then I'd be telling them, "Hey, I live in Texas and I have animals," and I kept saying, "Why am I keep going back to my school, my high school, and why am I keep going back?" And then finally I got the answer. Was the reason I kept having the reoccurring dream was because I was never able to finish high school because my mom pulled me out of Ohio, took me to Florida, and then I wasn't able to complete my 12th grade, and I had to go, when I moved to Austin, I had to get a GED. I went through my GED and got my GED done here. But I always had that empty thing, and I never finished that, and I never got it done. So I kept going back in my dream because I never finished it. Once I realized why I was doing that, I stopped dreaming that.
Did you see what Julie here, Steve?
yeah, I was typing that out.
Oh.
Yeah, it does feel like I am choosing to return there, if that makes any sense. I'm not there against my will. It doesn't feel like that. So
Probably because you're more comfortable than you are in that stinking state.
It might, yeah,
I'm
that's
not kidding.
probably what it is. You probably feel safe there. You like it there. It's a good place for you.
Like when I traveled back from Susie's Ranch
Yeah.
to here in Niles, like that was a nonstop. I didn't like I'd stop for gas and stuff, but coming back into Illinois, by the time I got into like northern part of the state and like near Cook County, like it got heavy. Like the air is heavy here. It feels like I'm weighted down in this state. It's not just like a mental thing. It's like something with the land here is just like heavy, and I don't understand what. It's just very
Oh, blue.
take note of. What's that?
Well, I think
said,
maybe you
"Could
need
they
to go
vote-
deeper.
could they
Yeah,
vote blue.
or what you're feeling. Go
Bottom of the
deeper into
ocean.
what you're feeling, and and think about more why you're feeling that. You know what I mean?
I
Yes.
mean, and I mean, I can be biased and say, well, Texas is a hell of a lot better state than Illinois. Oh, don't hate me, people, but still, I'm sorry. I have lived in California, Arizona, Ohio, Tennessee, and out of any state that I have lived in, I have never felt more at home. Even living in the frickin' ghetto, I have never felt more at home anywhere like I do here in Texas. We do have things that happen here. Texas has their things, but the overall of Texas, I feel safer here than I do anywhere else. I know when I had gone to California and visited family and friends just before I lost my leg. And I was scrambling to get out of there. I wanted to go home. I didn't even want to be there. Went by Arizona. My daughter's like, let's stop and see family here. Nope, keep driving. Because I just wanted to get home. I felt out of place. And I grew up in California. I left there when I was 20, 19, 20. So I spent 19, 20 years in California. And I fought to get out of there so bad. And I don't ever want to go back there. I am done with it. The last time I was there, I had to do the driving because, well, my daughter, bless her heart, I love her, but she scares the shit out of me when she drives. I literally will sit with my nails. I drove almost all the way there. Maybe I did drive there. And then all the way back. Because it's just, but I wanted out of there. I did not want to be there anymore.
Yeah, Texas does that to you. I remember a couple times going to Florida or Ohio, and I just want to get out of the vehicle and kiss the ground when I get into Texas. I mean, it's just like, like so glad to be back. It just has that effect on you.
When I stayed in Baytown before I visited Susie, I had to go to Houston to pick up a hat that I left near the airport by one of the stores there. And I was going to try to shoot straight through and get halfway home. It wasn't going to happen. So I stopped in Humble, Texas, and I spent the night there. And then the next day I went over to Susie's, and I spent the night over there too. Thank you. Because it saved for like spending on the hotels and everything. But I was very comfortable, I just had time to reflect. Like I had blocked out this time to just spend in Texas, and then it was like I was taking my time to get back home because I didn't want to leave.
I hear you.
Being on your property with all the dogs, like just that like vigor of life was just there.
Yeah.
Like you can really appreciate it.
And the land at Susie's house is warming. It is very calming. It is very warming. And I do believe that it is very, very well protected by what is buried there. So yeah.
What do you think, or what do you know is buried there?
Well, I had it when I first moved here. What it was like 4 years ago. I had a dream that there was a very high level Indian chief buried here, and
You found the arrowheads too, right?
find arrowheads and stuff like that. And so there's stories about Paleo Indians, I guess it was, and then the Caddo Indians in this area. Um, but I ran into, well, actually the mayor and the mayor's husband, Sonny. I ran into them at Tractor Supply after I first moved here, and we were talking in the parking lot, and he had told me, and this is really bizarre. He said when he was younger, he had a dream that there was a high level Indian chief buried here, and I thought, what? When he was younger, and I said I had that dream after I moved here, so we both had the same dream. So I thought that was highly interesting. That he had that dream and then I had that dream. So, I figure he's here somewhere, you know, and probably pretty close by, actually, I'm sure, you know, because,
Well,
just his,
hopefully one day when you go and digging holes and throwing cows in there, you don't find them.
right. Well, he could just be here, Yeah, we searched when we were looking to buy property. We spent 7 months, me, Roger, and Joel, going all over Texas looking for the right property. And we immediately loved this property when we found it. So it had everything that we were looking for. So, it's just a really nice piece of property. And
And I think that it's amazing that, I mean, you wanted to sell it and wanted to move and get out of here, and everywhere you looked there was something that was not right. So you decided you were going to stay. I was so thrilled when you decided you were going to stay. And
yeah.
then I told my doctor, I said, hey, I got a question. He goes, what's that? I said, if I move out to East Texas, 5 hours away from here, how many times a year do I have to come see you? He goes, as long as you come and see me once a year, the rest of the time we can do video.
Oh, that's good.
I said, yeah, because I don't want to leave you. I waited 2 years to get into this doctor. I called twice, 3 times a month to see if he was taking new patients yet. What is that? Oh, Crook County. That's for Jason. Crook County. But I did. I waited and I don't want to leave him, And when I do have to have a doctor's appointment to go see him, I will travel the 5 hours, go to my appointment, get everything done I need to get in town done, and then go home and pass out. So, it all works out. He said, I really think that the fresh air would be good for you. I said, oh, so do I. And then I told him, well, she's got horses and cattle. He goes, oh. He said, so when I want to go riding, you'll just invite me out, right?
Right.
I said, sure. Susie, the doctor's coming riding.
Hey, you might be able to save that 5-hour trip if you get him to come out here, right?
True. Very true. Very true. Bring your doc bag.
Come on, doc. Come make a visit. A house call, like the old days. Yeah. Just like in
I'll
the
trade
old
you a
days.
house call for a horseback ride.
There you go.
But yeah, so I do feel a lot better now than I did earlier. I mean, not that I didn't feel bad. I felt displaced.
Yeah.
I almost felt like
you were traveling, girl.
Yeah. And I'm going to be honest. The warm feeling that I had, I almost felt like I did not want to come back.
Look, that is not a normal afternoon, what you did today.
Yeah. Tell me. That was better than a Disneyland ride, man. That whole bouncing in and out of different places was just like the coolest thing ever. I was like, but it was something, and I almost knew not to ask, what is your name? Who are you? I almost knew that. Don't ask. It was incredible the knowledge that I had about what I was doing with whom.
So there
But
was a lot of trust there.
yes, a lot of trust, a lot of compassion, strength.
See, when you're in your soul and you're more in your psychic power anyway, and your ability to understand without saying a lot of words too, right?
Yeah, yeah. And I told Jack, I said, he goes, I didn't even know you were out of the shower. And I said, well, when I was in the shower, I went places. And he said, okay. And he walked away. I was like, he doesn't question anything I say anymore. He doesn't even ask. He's just like, all right.
Okay.
I was like, I don't know where I was, but I was somewhere.
I was a whole bunch of places.
I was
Yeah.
everywhere. It was cool.
You were somewhere and everywhere all at the same time,
But
right?
at this, yeah,
One day.
I felt sorrow for, some of these places that fell and the devastation that I seen. I felt sorrow, but I feel sorrow for, all the things that are going on now and the things that are happening in North Carolina and, Oklahoma now with the storms and the tornadoes. I feel so much sorrow because I care. And I wish that there was more that I can do. So the only thing I can do is bring awareness to it and say, look, I did see today that there has been 10 states that have been going and helping building like these sheds, and they've been getting Amish people to help build small, tiny homes for some people that have been misplaced, which is awesome. And the communities are working together. They're leaving the government out of it.
I
And the
know.
communities are working together, and it is so amazing.
You know what shocked me today?
Outgoing that's going. What's that?
I saw a video today of a whole bunch, because I was born in Canton, Ohio. It's all Amish, right? And I grew up kind of hanging out with the Amish when I was a kid. I used to go to their farms and just stay with them all the time and, just stay on their farms and just kind of hang out with them. And I saw a whole line of Amish buggies with Trump signs on it.
Yes. You got that right. And they don't
if that don't say everything, I don't know what does.
Because they don't get into the political, but they have been affected by this too, because they've been going after them, because they sell their own products and they grow their own stuff and their stuff is healthier than everybody else's. So they don't want that.
They're as down to earth and as simple as you can get. And the fact that they're even talking about a president, I mean, that's shocking.
By the way, the best biscuits and gravy I've ever had were from Amish in Indiana.
Really?
So there you go. Well, it was a reenactment I was doing.
Think about moving to Texas with you, so hand out a couple of pamphlets on the way.
We have a lot of Mennonites down here that me and Joel like to go get their food all the time. It's really good.
Yeah. I can't wait to go and have some of their pastries that they make.
Oh, yeah. Joel got just recently he got like a blueberry cheesecake from them. Oh,
my God. Yeah. Tell Joel he better save me a piece. Oh, I'm sure it's probably gone.
It's gone. It's gone.
I figured it's probably gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so that was my interesting afternoon today. And
that was really interesting. That was phenomenal.
It was a very weird day. A very strange day.
Yeah, you didn't see that one coming.
No. And I felt and it's funny because I I went to bed late. I woke up at like 4 o'clock in the morning, and then I was up for a few hours. And then I laid back down, and I woke up at like 11. And then I laid back down, and then I woke up when you called. And I said, oh, that's it. I got to get up. I need to get a shower. I need to get moving. I got things to do. And then that happened. And it's like, wow. You're right. I wasn't expecting that at all. That was just like straight out of somewhere. So, yeah.
Straight out of heaven. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you went
There
to.
it is, guys. I hope y'all.
You said you were on a cloud, right? You were traveling around
I
on a cloud.
was. I was like cloud.
Cloud 9.
I'm not sure what number it was, but
Right.
and
As they say.
so I think what I'm going to do now, that I've kind of figured some of this other stuff out, and I really think that we are going to be heading for some good things regardless of what happens. Which right now, Trump has 246 electoral votes and Kamala has 210. So yeah, 260, and it's a win in the pocket. But you know,
Can I share something with that?
yeah,
Don't get distracted too much about what happens or what the result is going to be. Try to look and see what else is going on while all this is happening.
oh yeah,
That's where we really need to pay attention.
oh yeah. Well, and right now there are some precautions put in place because there are, regardless of what happens, there's going to be some shit. There's going to be some shit going on.
Now, I do got to say something. Okay, so
Go.
I did not get to vote in the last 2 presidential deals. Okay, now I didn't vote in the first time when Trump went in because at that time I had learned how corrupt all the presidents were, and I was like, I don't want to vote. I don't know who to trust, right?
Right.
So I just stood back and then Trump became president. And then the next one I was going to vote, but when I was in the move and I was trying to do, like when you do it through the mail. And anyway, because I didn't have a new address, I was at a trailer park. I didn't get to vote basically. So that ruined everything. So I didn't get to vote. So I never got to vote for Trump, right? So
Right.
this time, Joel he just got his voter registration for the first time, so he gets to vote for the first time. So him and I get to go down and vote together for Trump, right? And so we both go in, and what I have, so because I haven't voted for 2 times, everything has changed in the voting, okay? And when I voted before, how it worked was I went in, I gave them my driver's license, they gave me a piece of paper. I was to put a little X or whatever wherever I wanted to vote, and then I slipped my paper into a box. It was just a wooden box. That was it.
Right.
And that was it. Now
Paper ballot.
today, yeah, it was completely a different world. Today went in there, I gave them my driver's license. They gave me a piece of paper and they said, now fill in the square with the ink all the way, fill it in. Okay, what you want to vote for. And then I took that paper over to this machine. The machine took the paper in and took a picture of it and turned it over and took a picture of it and then put it into a box that was sealed. So it was recorded and that paper was recorded to me. That was
Right.
never how I voted before. Before, if I walked into that building and I gave them a driver's license and they gave me a paper, there was this slit in the box. You just threw the paper in there and your name wasn't connected to it. They could have taken that box, thrown it away, and put all new ballots and no one would have ever known. There was no way to monitor the way they used to vote. Now this
Yeah, it's
way,
a big like box container thing now that's digital and you feed it in. Like, yeah, that's
yes,
what I saw today.
yes, it's all this is such a better method now because they can't just say now that paper was recorded like, hey, this is a real person. This is not just some random paper that they could swap out. Let's just say, like, because we heard rumors, maybe they're true, maybe they're not, but let's just say we heard there was like a big box of papers where people voted. That box was destroyed. Another 10,000 papers were brought in with a certain party, as you know. And so, how could you keep honest count if that's how they do it? See what I mean? The way they do it now, it's actually legit, you know? So
Well,
I
they
see a
had
huge difference. Yeah.
they did fix a few things different from this election from 2020. They had to. They had to because when my mother's sitting up here in a box and has been since 1989, but yet she voted in the 2020 election. It was incredible. It was, and she didn't even stop by the house and say hi. I couldn't believe it. So yeah, they had to fix a few things.
Yeah. They needed to. I mean, it needs to be a little more professional, you know?
Now we still have a lot of mail-in ballots, so I have a sneaky suspicion that even once they get everything done, they're going to say, "Oh, we have all these mail-in ballots we still have to count."
It'll be neck and neck for weeks on end. Everybody who voted will say it's my candidate. They won. They'll have
Yeah,
us all so confused, and then meanwhile, like all our tax dollars is going overseas still. All these people that they check their driver's license for voting today, but no, you don't need a driver's license to live here. Apparently, you can just go and do whatever you want. So,
The one
I
thing
mean,
I can say about Trump though, I can say is that when Trump, a lot of people say, well, I don't like Trump or oh, he's, too headstrong, he's too this or he's too that or whatever. He doesn't fit certain people's whatever. But the one thing I can say positively 100% about Trump is when he tells you he's going to do something, he does it.
unless
He
he
tells
stopped
the
doing it.
truth. He
Yeah,
tells the truth. He doesn't
I
beat around the
hear
bush. He
I hear
does what
so
he
many
says he's going to
people.
do.
I hear so many people say, "Well, he was in there for 4 years. He was supposed to build the wall, but he never did." No, I'm sorry. Wait, he paid for the material. They started building it. The Democratic
It takes longer than
Party
4 years to build a wall,
had
people.
him in court over that wall all 4 years.
Yeah, but it
It,
takes
at the
years
end,
to build that wall.
yes, and at the end of that 4 years, he was starting to put more back up because he'd won the case. And then the presidency went elsewhere. And then they took all that material that was already paid for, all that metal, all that stuff, and sold it to China. There you go. Bidenomics works for everybody, don't you
Well,
think?
yeah,
he was working on it, and that's the point. He didn't go against it. He was for it, and he was always working and always moving forward on it. And that's the point, is that he does what he says he's going to do. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I
I
mean that
mean, you
goes a
don't
long
have to
way.
like him. And he can be an asshole. He's done some changing since then, too. He's done a lot of changing. He's not quite the same person he was. And um, my
And
daughter
as
said,
rumor has it, they say he's really the son of General Patton. That's rumor. Just saying.
well, he looks just like him, but.
Acts just like him too.
Right?
Like father, like son.
This is what they say. But,
Right?
I mean, it's I don't know. It's a strange world. Eventually, things are going to work, and things are going to be fixed. And our children's children will have a better place to be. They won't have to be in the crap we're in now. You know, it's going to get better. It's going to
So
take
here's
some
my
time.
question though, Brenda. Okay, let's just say, okay, based back on your experience that you went through today and what you saw, and we're gonna be, you were shown we're gonna be in a fifth fall. So we haven't fell all the way yet, is what I'm saying.
Right.
So
Oh,
how bad is the fall? I think the fall is going, according to the story, there's going to be a lot of fire and there's going to be a lot of water.
we've already had a lot of
So
that.
so is Yellowstone going to blow? Is, you know what I'm saying? Because that's fire. Um,
Well, I can
I
do
mean,
this.
I know we're just guessing here, but I'm just saying there will be a
I've
huge fall
I've heard.
before.
I've been watching a lot of things, and this is what I've heard. I have heard that we are going to get help. We are going to get help. Um, there are beings that are not us that are going to help. They just have to wait for the right time to do so until it's safe for them.
Well,
And
there, and that's been in history too, right? You know, we've always had
yes,
protection throughout the ages. Yeah.
yes, but
Oh,
people have
definitely
to
Patton's
learn.
relative, adopted by Fred. Well, Robin, it was General Flynn, supposedly, is the one that the rumor is that he validated the story about Patton. Just so you know.
Patton, Patton, Patton,
Huh?
Patton, Patton. Jack's a
Patton.
Patton. Jack is a Patton.
Yes. There you go. So he's related to Trump.
Yep. And down the line, he's also related to the man that changed his name because the family wouldn't have anything more to do with him, Larry Flint.
Who?
Larry Flint. He is the owner of Hustler.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Small
you
world we
know,
live in.
it is
Right?
a very small world.
It's a very small world.
You never know who you run into. It's a very small world.
That's right, as I say.
You know, I don't know. I was thinking the other day. I actually got into listening to Abe's podcast last night, and I was so tired, but it was so interesting. And he had posted, he made some shorts. He finally figured out how to do it. Somebody helped him do it. And he had taken this video and he was out walking, he was spanning. And you've seen something, but he's spanning. And then all of a sudden, he goes home and he looks at this video and he slows it down. 3 of them, 4 of them actually. There was one in a bush, but you could see them. There was a figure here that was black in color. There's another figure black in color and another figure. And when he would move the film, you'd see them move.
Oh boy.
And it was so interesting. I could not stop listening. I'm sitting here in my chair like this, and I think when he went to end it, I fell asleep in my chair. And I woke up a little bit later and said, "Oh God, I heard I gotta go to bed.
Oh gosh.
I gotta lay in the bed. I can't lay. I can't be sleeping in my chair, man." It can be comfortable, but not to sleep in. I can lay the seat back. I have a captain's chair that pivots, and then I got this new memory foam cushion that's awesome, but I can't be sleeping in it.
Yeah, I can't wait to have Abe come back on, tell some more stories. He's really got some good stories.
Yeah. Yeah, he was having thunderstorm. Well, because I had thunderstorms last night at the same time, and he was asking if I still had electricity. I'm like, yeah, because whatever we get here, he's barely 20 minutes away, so he gets them there. So, but he still trips out that we live so close together. He's like, I can't believe it. Sister Brenda, you're in
Right.
my backyard. I said, nope, you're in my backyard.
Well, you know,
That's the
I was thinking about that. I bought my truck in Temple. That's where I bought my truck.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Yep.
So it is a very small world.
Mm-hmm.
And Robin, one of these days we're going to put you in that world because we love you, girl. But, well, guys, I don't think I'm going to keep y'all any longer. And
Thank you, Brenda, for that. That was a wonderful experience, and that you shared with us. I
I
feel
did. I just wanted to share with you guys because I don't know.
I feel happy hearing about it. Yeah, that's great.
You're all my, you know,
We're
you,
your
Steve,
go-to.
Tommy.
Yeah.
You guys are like my family, and then I've got our internet family here, and I just wanted to share, and I wanted to try to make sense of it, and I could have done it earlier, but I was still kind of grasping everything.
You had to process it.
Yeah, I was trying to process, and I will sit and have a conversation with this friend of mine. Um, but it was so amazing, and I just really wanted to share. Well, hello, Woo. Are you late for the party? Yeah, I know, Woo. Yeah, I know. I've got it up on RSVN on the other side there, and
I
yeah,
haven't heard
I'm
that
watching it.
station
I'm
in years.
watching it. It's been an intense thing. I'll know, well, either way it goes, I think I need to make sure I like move something heavy in front of the front door and
Hey, worst case, there's always Wednesday night Dynamite. Only on TNT.
oh my goodness, right?
If your day turns out to be not so good, you got pro
Look,
wrestling you can
look,
watch.
Look, at 4 o'clock this morning when I woke up, I was on the radio talking to a couple of the people out there in Maine. I mean in Maryland. And I happened to look up at my TV and I don't know what I was watching. But this guy had a small brain in his hand on a table with a scalpel. And he was talking about something and he opened it up and he said, look at this cord and here's this and this. And got my head tilted because I know when I went to bed, there was Alien Nation on. So I said, now I know that is not an animal brain. That is not.
And I don't mean alien people. I mean alien aliens and ships.
It was a human brain, but no, it was Alien Nation was still on. I was like, what is that? What are you doing? Put that brain down. Leave it alone. Quit playing with it. But it was too early in the morning for brain play. Okay, I have one lady that I watch. She is she does autopsies, and I just love her to death. And she is one of those that will dig and look because there's got to be a reason for a reason for a reason. Okay, and she will cover every aspect of everything. And I do watch her on occasions. Things like that don't bother me. Like I said, when I had one of my surgeries on my leg and they had it cut open, I had infection there. They had to dig it out. When they came in to change the gauze, I seen my bone in there and I was like, oh my God, that's so cool. Can I take a picture? They're like, get out of here. I'm like, what? It's cool. So things like that don't bother me at all. I'm not squeamish with any of that, but yeah, I was like, wow, this is just too early in the morning to be looking at brains. So then they were talking about some kind of zombie disease. And that's what it was. It was about that. I was like, oh my God, are you kidding? Zombie.
Should I show off my Trump hats?
The
collection that I have here.
You have a collection of Trump hats? No, really? There you go. There you
2016.
go. See?
Oh, wow.
Trump 2020.
Oh my goodness.
Trump 2020 Red Edition. Illinois for Trump.
That's
Illinois
funny.
for Trump. Well, yeah, what happened?
And a big old trucker hat of Make America Great.
There you go. There you go.
That's pretty cool.
I think that he should have made one that said, let's knock this place down and restart. We'll rebuild better.
I think it's knocking itself down without anybody helping it. Yeah.
I know, right? Like, come on, God. I knew that was going to happen. I was sitting here and I'm looking, and they showed the shading of red over Illinois, and then it switched to a shading of blue over Illinois. And I said, them suckers are going to stay blue. Watch this. And I'm watching it, boom. I said, oh, Steve. And my friend Kenny lives out there too. And he's been trying to talk his girlfriend into moving to Texas, but she left from here and went to Illinois. And
It's
she
the
won't come
northeast
back.
part of the state. The whole northeast corner is responsible for all the bad policies, and the rest of the state is all red. So you get an hour out of the city, it's all farmland, and
Yeah.
everyone wants Trump. Like it's whatever.
Well, of course, and we knew like Oregon, Washington, and California were going to go blue. We knew that. That was, I mean, that's a no-brainer. And surprisingly enough, it's amazing because I know a lot of people in California and they don't like it there. But a lot of other people moved out of there to get away from that and moved to red states. Now, we've had a lot of people out here, oh, us people from California are going to turn Texas blue. And we're like, sure. Go ahead, try it. See what happens. Didn't work, did it?
They're not building a lot of like new condos and apartments in like the Houston area, are they? Or just
No?
in general? Because I know Colorado and Denver, they were just gentrifying everything along
Oh,
coal packs.
yes. Colorado is going to be Colorado is going to be the first state to come up with 15-minute cities. Those people out in Colorado are so blue, it ain't even funny.
Yeah, because they're all from California. When I was there, they said
Like
like
that.
everybody that's moving is from California, Texas, or Illinois. So it's like I can't get away from any of you guys. We're all everywhere, anywhere you go. It's like okay.
That's right. Okay, so here's the deal, guys. When I came in here, I started talking about how I wanted to talk to everybody. So I did not get to say our prayer. So Susie, would you like to say a prayer for us to close out on?
Okay. All right. Father, thank you for everything that you showed Brenda. It was very beautiful and very enlightening, and you made her day, you made my day, and I think you made Steve's day and everybody else's day. Just, with that beautiful revelation that you got. And I just thank you, Jesus. And Father, I just ask that you keep your protection around each and every one of us as we're all going through everything that we're all going through. And in Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
So on that note, everybody, thank you for coming in. Thank you for watching and hearing about this. And woo, I guess you'll have to watch it later. But we I didn't do too bad. 1 hour and 49. Oh, so I almost went 2 hours. So anyways, thanks everybody for coming, and
Yes, thank you guys.
keep up the faith. Keep your fingers going crossed. Watch your backs, and please be kind to one another. Have a good night.
Good night, everybody.
Goodbye for now, from Beyond the Box.
Please join us again for Beyond the Box, Friday and Saturday evenings, from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. to midnight Eastern. Join us for more intel bombs from our extraordinary guests.
Good night, Putin. Good night, Tucker.